Last night, the council spent 2 hours talking and did not conduct one piece of the people's business for 2 straight hours. I was sitting there looking at my watch going, Jesus Christ. I mean, just let me talk about the two things.
We will now convene into open session at 5:40. Okay, report closed session action. There is none taken. We do have some students here for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Cooper, and I have some fourth graders from Ophir Elementary School to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. All three of you can come stand up here. Mavis, you can go first.
My name is Mavis. Thank you for inviting us to lead your meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. We are students from Ophir School. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance helps form a connection to our country, the United States of America. My name is Kensley. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we honor the flag and everything it represents. We are a country with a diverse population. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance instills a sense of pride for all people. My name is Evelyn. We say the Pledge of Allegiance to start our day at school, to begin official meetings or ceremonies, and we honor the flag at special events like ball games. We would like to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job.
Thank you so much for that.
I have certificates for these three. Evelyn? Mavis? Yeah. Excellent. Very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much for that. We will now move on to the comment session. Comments and announcements by board members. It's a report.
I have nothing today.
Sandra Barnes.
So Spencer and Andrew and I are working very diligently on two pieces well, we're working on the safety committee plan, the comprehensive safety plan for the entire school district. And so we're working diligently on this. We have put forward some changes this meeting, but I feel like that this is going to be a continuing evolving document. So more challenges ahead that we need to address. One thing I noticed, if you see something, say something, spread it to your friends, your family members, your coworkers. If there's a problem, we need to know about it. If it's not resolved within 5 days, please escalate it.
Thank you. Bill Lagrone.
None at this time, thank you.
I myself, I do want to say thank you all for coming. And I do know that I have met with several either teachers or vice principals in the stores, asking them how was their first, couple weeks of school. They're still hanging in there. So I just want you to know that, we're having a great month into school. We've already been into it a month. And I think that so far, everybody's been doing such a great job. Thank you for all the teachers and the principals and the vice principals for all that they do and for dealing with the students. I know it's not easy, and we just want to commend them tonight. Thank you. Okay, any comments and announcements by administration? Dr. Spencer Holtum.
Thank you very much. I'd like to announce that on October the 3rd at 10 o'clock at the studios at Central, we're going to be doing a grand reopening for the track that has been completed there about 2 years ago with help and support from the city and our own board member, Mr. Bill LeGrone, who at the time was the city administrator. We worked together as the city and the school to totally refurbish that track. And it used to be DG and with no drainage. And so during the winter months, we could rarely use it, and it was really a mess. And we have totally redone it. It now has drainage. It now has lights. It's now totally paved with striping and also reflective paint, so that's not nearly as hot in the summer for our students. And so we'll be reopening that. It's open now. Our students are using it, but after the reopening, we'll be opening that to the community. Right now, there is a gate that's on Lower Wyandotte that's a lock gate, but after the grand reopening, we will have a timed lock on there. So in the evening, that will be unlocked, and then at a certain hour in the evening, it will lock again. But we want to make it available to the residents near that school site. So that's thank the city for working with us on that. The safety committee, we are always looking for community members who want to be on our safety committee. We meet several times a year, and we're looking for people who want to give us feedback on how we can improve safety at all our sites. And we have done a lot in the last several years, including just finishing our fencing project that has greatly increased the amount of safety we have on our campuses. We have had a great start to the school year. I've been to all the back-to-school nights now, and I'm really pleased. I've been telling people this is our best opening that we've had since I've been here, and this is my 7th year. And there's a lot of factors to that, but it's been great. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew James.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to what's almost fall. I just wanted to say a couple of things. First, I know Shari Carrillo is going to be presenting in a little bit. She's our new coordinator of food services, but I wanted to thank her and Sarah and all of our kitchen staffs for doing a great job so far this fall, and also commend them. We are supporting the school up in Berry Creek with meals as they're transitioning back into their newly built school. They still don't have food service figured out, so we're helping supply meals to them, and that's something that our team has had to take on and learn about and be able to do. So I wanted to thank them here in the meeting this evening, and we're just excited for a great fall. It's been so far tasting a lot more like a pre-COVID year. You know, it's starting to feel more like it used to feel. So
Thank you. Troy Cox.
Good evening, board members and community members. We have some information as far as from curriculum and instruction. This year started off a lot smoother. We've definitely seen schools have starts that have demonstrated some really good teamwork from all sides, from administration, from teachers. We in the curriculum department have worked hard in establishing our final year, our 5th year of our DOJ settlement, and ensuring that we are appropriately meeting all the requirements of that. We have currently set up biweekly meeting middle school visits where we're walking through middle schools 2 times a month and elementary schools 1 time a month. We're also continually meeting once a month to ensure that we're meeting all the requirements of the DOJ settlement. And one of the big things that we began this year is our inspect benchmark, which we are doing 3 times during the year, that lead up to our testing at the end of the year. And after each assessment, we actually meet at grade levels district-wide. All schools will be meeting as grade levels instead of just at your school site. We'll be meeting district-wide, and we'll be reviewing testing data to help us better reach our students with intervention in the meantime of getting them ready to take the state test at the end of the year. So this was something new this year, and we are currently in the last couple days of the first assessment window. So that finishes up our first assessment window. So thank you.
Thank you. Holly Gutierrez.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we will now have comments by the public. At this time, the board will extend invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on matters which are school-related. For those attending remotely who wish to comment, use the raise your hand button to be called upon. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person, 20 minutes per subject. Is there anybody on there?
No, there's none online.
Thank you. We will now go into presentation. Our first presentation will be an alternative youth intervention program proposal.
Representatives from the Oroville Southside Community Improvement Association will present information on an alternative youth intervention program that is being proposed for OCESD students. Their mission is to empower Oroville's youth through academic excellence, leadership development, life skill training, community service, and promoting health and physical fitness for a brighter future.
Thank
Pastor.
you, thank you, Superintendent, and we do give deference tonight to this great board, and we thank you for an opportunity. You had us here, well, we came on last month, and you invited us back this month to this meeting, and we don't want to tarry too long with you. We just have a presentation that we would like to present. But this program is if you would, very comprehensive, and we believe that it's going to be something that's going to enhance the district and our children throughout. And I think this being a pilot program, I think it's going to catch. And when we get through, you'll see that this would probably be one of the best moves that we've made in a long time. So we just want to say thank you for this forum and this space to present what we have today. And at this point, I'm going to turn it into our director, Ms. Courtney Ellis.
Hello, let's jump right into it. First of all, our mission is creating a thriving Oroville community where every youth is equipped with the skills, knowledge, and the values to succeed academically and lead with integrity and serve with compassion, embrace healthy lifestyles, fostering a vibrant and sustainable future for all. All right, the program will be broken into 3 phases: the red phase, the white phase, and the green phase. Myself, I have a military background, and I used to train soldiers. And when we went through our basic training, we were broken into phases, and as we progressed, we were able to graduate to the next phase. So that's how I customized this particular program. So in the red phase is the beginning phase. Each phase is going to focus on academic excellence. Each one of them. And in the red phase, this is when we're going to focus on time management, leadership skills, team building, physical fitness, personal development, and so on. So this is the in the beginning phase when they get broke down into, hey, we need to start focusing on leveraging our time and et cetera, and leadership skills. And so once they graduate from the white phase, then they would get more into, of course, academics is in each phase, but this is when they'll get into goal setting and focusing on life skills, trades, health and fitness, and so on. So we're going to be partnering with community leaders and businesses to come in and do workshops to teach the kids trades. And also we have an agriculture program that we will incorporate into this training. The green phase is when they get into more so the leadership phase. We rebuild them up, and they got the goals, they got the time management going. And this is when we start focusing on leadership and transitioning them into mentoring other students, because peer-to-peer working together is also a good thing. So we will teach them leadership skills, guiding and mentoring so that they can guide and mentor incoming students and the students within the schools. So this is our daily schedule. We're going to start the day off with physical fitness every single day. And after physical fitness, that's when we'll go into breakfast. After breakfast, then they will do their academic studies from 9:30 to 12. And we'll get more into details how that looks as we go past the slides. 12 to 1, they will have lunch, and then 1 to 2, that's when they'll have the personal time, the extracurricular activities. That's when we'll go into the goal setting, the counseling, the workshops. We'll bring in community leaders to bring in talk to them about certain trades and different things. And from 2 to 3, that's when we will have reflection and we will prepare for dismissal. How would we measure the success? So measuring the success for our youth program is essential to meeting the goals and supporting our students. One way we will measure the success is through attendance monitoring. We're going to make sure that we call them and we build a relationship. We find out what are those barriers that they're having that will keep them from coming to school. And so that we can help them with that. And transportation could be one. So we included transportation in this project. So also surveys. Surveys are very important. So we will implement surveys for both the students and the parents so that we can get the feedback from them to continue to improve the program. And lastly, one of the other ways we will measure the program is through physical fitness. So when they first come, we'll give them a physical fitness test and we'll start setting goals for their physical fitness and educating them on physical fitness and health. All right, so one of our partners is California Chico State University, and through our partnership with them, we have established a parent program. And basically, through the partnership with Chico State, we dedicated to providing educational workshops and support tailored for parents by empowering the parents with the tools they need, and we're going to provide them with resources in the community. So this is how our tutoring program will work. So we are partnering with Chico State University and Butte College for the tutoring program. So during that time that they're doing the classroom work between 9:30 and 12, we will have tutors from Chico State and Butte College to come and help them with their homework. Since we're doing this program through the independent study, the teachers will have the work already, the students will already be assigned the work. And we will have the college students on, at the facility to help them with it. So our dedicated tutors will be available to assist with schoolwork assigned by the teachers, ensuring that every student has the resources and guidance necessary to succeed. Because in some of our meetings that we had before, not finishing the homework and the schoolwork was one of the issues, and we want to help with that by offering the tutors. So these are some reasons. I'm not going to read them all, but these are some of the reasons why you should choose us. Chico State and Butte College with our partnership. And then the Youth Intervention Program is designed to improve academic performance, but also support emotional and social development. And partnering with OSHA fosters a sense of community involvement. It shows that the district is working with the community to help with some of the barriers and things within the school. And also partnering us foster, it can provide valuable resources and materials that may not be readily available with the school, but you can get it through the community. And early intervention is crucial for the student's success. And that's why we created this program. So also the partnership aligns with, and I misspelled that wrong, so please excuse me, Oroville School District's mission to foster exclusive, supportive educational environment. Working together with OSHA can help achieve these goals more effectively. In conclusion, the potential partnership between Oroville School District and OSHA can create a powerful impact on the student lives, equip them with the tools they need for success in the school and beyond. Together, we can pave the way for a brighter future for the youth. Thank you. Any questions?
I do have some questions. Where is this located? Where will we be?
Yeah, well, actually, we're so excited. We're the proud owners.
Pastor, could you go to the
uh,
mic so those who are online can hear you?
Yes, sir. We're the proud owners of the Orville Southside Community Center. It's a 30,000 square foot facility. You're familiar with it. We don't rent, we actually own it. So we have a lot of leeway to do all the programs that we're going to be offering. So to be at 2959 Lower Wyandotte Road.
So then what days of the week? Is this every single day?
Every day of the week, Monday through Friday.
So the kids are going to be at Southside Community Center all day long?
Those that would be, be I don't want to use the word targeted children, but those that we're going to be assisting, they would be
Okay.
there for that
And
program.
let me.
And
Sure.
if I may interject at this time, our target, for lack of a better word, students are those students that are currently
Focus.
in our independent study program
Okay.
that and currently we have 45 students enrolled in that program. By the end of the year, we will have closer to 60 or 70.
Right. Okay.
We have a lot of kids that are not successful in that program
Mhm.
because they do not have the structure or the academic support needed at home to be successful in the
Sure.
program. So it's kind of a revolving door. A lot of those kids go to independent study for a myriad of reasons, but most of it is these kids need additional support.
So on
Um,
any given day, you're not gonna have the full 60. You're gonna have just, revolving drop-ins, whoever comes in.
And so I think that's at first I think that's going to be part of it.
Mhm.
But we also are going to make this available to our students who are on short-term independent study and also kids who may be dealing with discipline issues that are suspended, that can do it on a drop-in basis, or we can assign that to them and we can't make them go, but we
course.
can work with those parents to encourage them to get, more additional outreach. But our real target is those kids that are in our programs that need additional structure, need additional support. And our kids who in a large middle school or a large elementary school, they get overwhelmed or are not successful and they need a smaller environment. So the target is that, when we've talked, we're looking at 10 or 15 students a day. It could be more, but that's kind of the target. I have spoken with our independent study teachers, and they think this is a great idea. I received an email today from a family who said, "Hey, Dr. Holton, can we get some more support for our student who's in IFLC?" And he was actually in that program because he made a really poor mistake, but he's not doing very well. And I thought, great. This is the kind of program that can support that type of student. And we really hope that all 45 of those kids use this program on a weekly basis, but it's going to be more on an elective basis. But I do think that we're going to have parents that are going to want their kids to be there on a daily basis,
Sure.
or at least part of the day, up till noon, come get PE, get fed, get your 2 hours of tutoring or 2.5 hours of tutoring, and then go home.
Bear in mind, my questions are not directed towards whether or not I'm going to vote for this. I mean, it is an amazing dynamic program. My questions are just based on things that weren't covered. So grade levels, we're assuming K through 8, not necessarily the high school level.
That's correct.
Yes.
Recess, got a full day going on.
Mhm.
There's recess, some time out for the friendos that are shorter.
Yeah, we can get creative in those numbers, and Ms. Sandra, I think the most important thing is it's a pilot program.
Absolutely.
And so, it's going to be some wiggle room on how to best approach each.
And your agreement with Chico State and Butte College, is that work study or is that a paid tutorial?
Both, we're gonna do both.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. That's all I got.
Therefore, they'll get the experience.
Credits.
Mhm.
Nice.
I would almost like to see this be part of a suspension. I mean, I'm looking at this report of of 300 and some odd suspensions for the year, that's a potential of 350 students that they could touch and help and promote and guide. And, what we were talking about earlier was if you send them home, that's like a
Yeah.
free pass.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
So
something that
you're-
is doable, but.
So that's really, again, part of the dynamic of this program is filling that need as well.
Right.
We as a district can't
Enforce.
require
Right.
that, but we certainly can encourage that, and we certainly can do outreach, because that's one of the things that we've talked about when we've met on multiple occasions, is also helping to outreach some of these families that are not being successful in our schools, and working with us to try to bring these kids back into the fold, and whatever that means, whether it's independent study, short-term independent study, or providing and being creative with this program, because it is a pilot program. And so there's going to be some things that we go, you know what? I'm going to go to Pastor Thompson and say, hey, can we look at this? Have we thought about this? And I think it's going to go both ways too. To say, hey, we'd like to try this, or hey, I see a demographic that we're not hitting. Let's go try to get that. I really think it's going to be something that's going to benefit our community, and we can fund this through, and correct me if I'm wrong, through ELOP.
That's correct.
And our ELOP fund that stands for Extended Learning Programs. And this is an extended program. This is outside of the regular school day for our independent study kids. And so we absolutely can use that funding for this program. And for those students who are out of school, that are on discipline or anything like that. So it perfectly fits into that design.
And I want to add something to this. I've worked with Oakland Military Academy. I did 10 years in the military. I worked with Oakland Military Academy, developed programs for them. And I've also did youth intervention programs for the Army National Guard in 3 different states. And I also trained soldiers before they went down range to basic training. Not to say that we're going to make this a whole, basic training thing, but
We're fine with that.
I think we're okay with that.
So, basically what we're going to do is motivate them. We're going to keep them busy. We're going to get them in shape physically and mentally. We're going to communicate with the parents, and we're going to involve the community. That's how the whole program looks.
I wanted to comment on your plan for having physical fitness as the first thing that they start their day with, because not only is it good for their physical, it releases different chemicals in their brain and promotes growth in so many other ways. I think that's a really great idea.
Thank you.
Dr. Holtum, are we going to provide any sort of transportation to and from this?
Yes, I know that you brought that up last time, and initially, because of cost, we thought that maybe we'll take it out of the program, but given your comments last time and also rethinking it, and also talking with some of our parents, we have asked them to put it back in the program because they do provide transportation. It does come at a cost, but we added that into the contract. We think that's going to be a very important part of getting kids to and from, because that's actually one of the reasons why parents want to do independent study, is because of transportation and other issues. And this takes that equation out.
We'd like to remove as many barriers as possible. And I'm assuming we're going to provide breakfast and lunch to the children. I mean,
Yes, we will. And the thing is these are our kids. And
Right.
so we're working out those details, but yes, that is the plan.
and Pastor Thompson, if you could just, because some people are probably asking the question, how are you vetting the individuals that are going to interact with the children? I'm assuming there'll be fingerprinting and a process that you go through that meets the standards of the district. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just want to verify for anybody who's concerned about that is something that you are going to take care of.
Without a doubt. And
Background
obviously
check.
this lady here, I mean, she don't leave any stone unturned, but that's just a given. That's just automatic. Yeah, they'll be fingerprinted. They have background checks, and only those that would be cleared would
Perfect.
be interacting with your children and ours.
The only thing that I'm really sure of is that what we're looking at right now is not what we're going to end up with probably at the end of the year, because it is a pilot program and it will evolve and it'll grow and it'll ebb and flow. And, you know, and I'm confident that you will size right and adjust as need be. I mean, that's, you know, you might be dealing with a difficult group of people at times, I'm sure, and I'm sure that you can handle that. I mean, and I look forward to it.
Well,
Not attending.
I like the part about the accountability of the communication and staying in touch and why aren't you here? We need you here. We'd love to have you here. You know, that constant contact is so important for this age too, because they need to feel like they're important, you know?
And if I may, and I don't want to take up too much time, but that's going to be very important, is that
Yeah.
those phones are going to be ringing the night before and that morning, just preparing them to get up. And also something that we didn't cover is that we're going to engage the families, the parents as well. So if the parent do drop off that child, guess what? We have a big commercial kitchen in there. We're going to bring them in if they want to get involved in some culinary skills, something that would give them relaxation, allow them to possibly add to the lunch that you'd be providing for the children. So we got so many different things to pull from that it's going to be truly a blessing. The children won't have a free ride. It's not going to be fun. That we're going to want to transit them back into the school. So we just want to let you know that we engage the parents as well.
And I want to say one last thing. We do have advisors that we're working with, and I brought one of our advisors here, Dr. Lee. She has her doctorate in education, and we also have a doctor, that a friend of mine who has her doctorate in mental health. She has a mental health program. So we do have advisors who are advising us through this process, and we did provide curriculums of the extracurricular programs that we're going to have. We did email curriculums to show that we are structured and that we have a good advisory team that support us so that we can make sure that this program is successful. And that's it.
Yes, thank you.
If I may, because we have one individual that's on online, and I know we want to hear, and he's been waiting a long time, and we did pass out his CV to each one of you. And I don't know, Dr. Thompson, is he still on? You know, he's very quick. These individuals have volunteered to come and to help undergird in different areas through consulting and just making sure that we have the best.
Should I speak now?
There we got him.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very kindly. I'm very happy that I was allowed to speak this evening. So I want to say thank you very much to our board vice president, also to our superintendent, and to the board members. Thank you very kindly for allowing me to speak this evening. My name is Dr. Clifford Thompson. I'm also a board member in Oakland. Also, I have written my doctorate in alternative education through a hermeneutics exploration. So I've done quite a bit of work working with students who perhaps have to go through an alternative means in order to accomplish an end. Just a little bit about myself. I went to Cal State Chico in order to get my first teaching credential. And excuse me, and I was placed at the Juvenile Justice Center where I worked and I did my student teaching there. I then relocated to the Bay Area, and I've been down here for a number of years, and I've mentored youth at the Juvenile Justice Center for the past 20 years. And you can sort of look at my track record and just investigate things if you wish. I'm also a teacher presently, have been a teacher on special assignment, assistant principal, secondary coordinator. I've decided not to retire yet. And so I went back into the classroom and I'm teaching in Richmond right now, teaching elementary school. but I am also, like I said, on the board in Oakland representing District 7. And that's just about me necessarily. I'm going to serve as an advisor to this program in order to make certain that students receive, number one, their number of minutes that they should have for each curricular area. Number two, hopefully assist the school district by having seats or students in attendance. And I'm sure that's how LCFF funds are actually garnered. And so I'm hoping to be an assistance to not only the program, but to the entire district. And I'm hoping to retire from teaching soon and relocate to Orville, where I could have a more hands-on experience with this program. Thank you very much for allowing me to address you this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Holtum and Madam President, if we can, I know there's a lot of people here for this item. Can we jump ahead now out of order to new business and address this issue now?
I will just go ahead and recuse myself at this moment and hand it over to Jessica, please.
So yes, I think we can do that. And Ms. Torres is recusing herself. And as soon as she steps out, I'll turn the mic over to our clerk, Jessica Anthony.
Okay, so I'd like to call for a motion to approve the Southside Community Improvement Association and Youth Intervention Program contract agreement with OCESD.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope, 3 yes votes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
You want to put the this?
We will now move on to the 2024 summer school recap.
So we are lucky enough this evening to have Lauren Albert, who was our summer school principal for this summer. We had 2 sessions, and we were lucky enough to have her be the administrator over the entire program. And she's here today to present some of the great things that happened over the summer. So thank you, Lauren.
Yeah. But I thought I had the like fun 5 minutes tonight, but that was pretty awesome actually. So I'm going to be pretty quick. I just want to highlight some of the positives that happened at summer school this year. So basically we had a partnership between Oroville City Elementary. Extended school year program was also on the Stanford campus. And we had a credit recovery program mainly for our junior high kiddos. So if they didn't make the grades, then they had opportunity over the summer through an Edmentum program to make up their credit. So they could hopefully this year walk in promotion. But the partnership was also with the California State Parks Department and the Expanded Learning or After School Club, we sometimes call it, through the Butte County Office of Ed. And we had a theme. It was space. It was explore our universe. We had an academic focus. And so language arts, math, and then STEM were the real focus every day. The curriculum that we used is here, it's called Teacher Created Materials. And some of the activities that we had were not just science, but we also did art. And these ideas were created by our teachers. And so summer school is kind of an amazing thing where we take teachers and staff from all over the district and we throw them together for 6 weeks and we make awesome things happen. And it's a little tricky because a lot of us didn't know each other before showing up. But the things that came out of it were so cool. So this is one of those moments where one teacher said, I think I want to try this. And then another teacher said, can you do that for my class? Can we do that? And it's almost the whole school ended up doing this STEM. It was a science and art project. But it just like created a sense of community that they just would jump on projects together. I'm not going to go through the whole calendar of events, but I highlighted a couple things. So that partnership with the California State Parks meant that every other week they would come out on campus and do a lesson or activity with our students. And then on the last week, we got to go out to the Forebay to have a water play day and an educational visit from the state parks. They talked about animals and the environment. On June 19th, it was Juneteenth, the expanded learning program did not have staff available that day. So the Oroville City Elementary School District employees got to do a super long day. So you'll see there were extra activities that day because we needed to fill the time with things that would be fun, taking up that whole long day. So we did a movie in the afternoon with popcorn. We had a BMX assembly. I'll show you a picture of in a second. And then because it was Juneteenth, we invited the representatives from the African American Family and Cultural Center to come, and they shared a message with us. I have a little picture of them also. Miss Thompson also did a presentation with the kiddos. It was a story and music moment as part of the African American message. It was pretty cool. She got the kids to do a whole rain copying activity, 150 students. They made me step out so they could practice and surprise me, but it was pretty cool. We also had our Water Day Carnival Day, one in our first session in June and another one in our second session in July. So here, that's one of the 4-bay pictures, kiddos. And then this is in the second session in July, we had the Sky Dome Assembly. And so students got to go inside a giant bubble in the cafeteria and they projected information about space. So if you're not claustrophobic, that's a cool one when we bring it back again. Oh, just a couple action shots from our water day. Here, Amanda Sellers is the lady with their hands up right there, but she helped coordinate all the activities that they had. So she would give a mini lesson and then they would go inside and create something. This day was using petrified wood found around Lake Oroville, and they got to turn them into critters with all natural things found from the area. They played games with our students. And the second day, they made they had another craft day that was a journal, so they could write what was going on in summer school or take it home. These are our Juneteenth pictures where we had the BMX assembly. He's literally jumping over our staff right there. They were very brave. And we have our friends on the left from the African American Cultural Center. Miss Thompson's in that picture actually too. So that's my super fast. Summer school was awesome. Do you have any questions or thoughts?
You could do a 3D.
The dome.
Yeah, 3D projector.
Yeah, they actually can present many different things, but since we did the science theme, they did something about stars and space. Yeah, they're available during the school year as well if people wanted them. I think the summer school for me is super fun because of the ELOP funding. I think you can, it's meant for things that are happening outside of the regular school day. So we have a little more opportunity to make things engaging for the students who come over the summer.
Yeah, that's
Like
great.
the bubble. Thank you, Lauren. That was
Yeah,
excellent.
thanks for
Thank
sharing.
you. Did a great job.
Thank you, Lauren.
We'll now move on to the OCSD's food service program.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, sorry, the treats. We have
Go back on the conference and computer.
Oh, thank you.
And Bill's out of the room for it. While you guys are getting your little goodies, I'd like to introduce Shari Carrillo. She's our new food services coordinator. She's replacing Paul Mabey, who you might have met a couple of times. But Shari is going to be visiting the board about once a year to give you updates on the food service program. So I'll let you introduce yourself and take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Good evening, everyone. As Andrew mentioned, my name is Shari Carrillo, and I am the Food Services Coordinator for the school district. Before I get started, I would like to hand out a few informational flyers that coincide with the topics that I will be discussing. And after I present, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And if I can't answer your questions to the best of my ability, I will research and get back to you.
You can just give them to them.
Thank you so much.
I love the colors.
Okay. So the Orville City Elementary School District Child Nutrition Program operates within the National School Lunch Program, or the NSLP, the School Breakfast Program, or the SBP, and the After School Snack Program, or the ASP. We currently have all 7 sites participating in the programs. It sounds like we have another site that's going to be participating in the program also, along with the pilot program. So we provide healthy, nutritious meals for breakfast and lunch to all students enrolled in the school district at no cost to the students. These meals must be thoroughly planned and meet specific nutritional standards. Meal components must include whole grains, fruits and vegetables, low-fat milk, and meat or meat alternate options. Our child nutrition program operates under Offer versus Serve, which helps reduce waste while providing the students with the option to choose their items. Students must be offered 5 components at lunch and 4 components at breakfast, and they must choose at least 3 of those components, which one of their chosen options must be a fruit or vegetable. I attached a few of the flyers that are in there are similar flyers that we have posted in our cafeterias. They help students make healthy choices while providing a complete reimbursable meal. As you can see on some of the components, it can be a little complicated just because components aren't the same as items. So for example, if you have a cheeseburger on the menu, that's considered 2 components. So really they would only have to choose a cheeseburger, which is a grain and the meat or meat alternate, and then a fruit or vegetable to make a complete meal. They can choose all options though. This helps reduce waste, provides the students with the ability to be able to choose what they're eating and what they're putting on their plate also. We have a few updates to this year's food service department, including monthly menu item changes, the Farm to School grant partnership with CalFresh Healthy Living UCCE, or AKA the Carrot Ladies, the SB 1383 compliance partnership with the 530 Food Coalition, and the 24-25 National School Food Study. We plan to incorporate student feedback to update menu items to keep the menu exciting and fresh, which we've already started to implement student feedback from last year into our fall menus. We also plan to add excitement and discussion to nutritional meals by advertising National Food Days in our cafeterias, which I added one of the flyers there for November. We have also began planning to participate in the California Crunch Day, where students will try a local fruit or vegetable on October 10th. And October is National Farm to School Month, which makes it a great time for our students to test new fruits and vegetables. Courtney that spoke earlier, I spoke with her earlier in the week, and she actually has a local farm also here in Orville. And she is who helped get us started with the Crunch Day program. So I'm looking forward to doing that within our schools. We partner with local farms, including Happy Valley Fresh, who I also let Courtney know about, and hopefully she can partner with them, who distributes multiple farmers' products in the North State to provide local fruits and vegetable options to our students. In the winter months, we will purchase mandarins from local mandarin growers. The Farm to School grant will provide local produce for taste testing at 3 of our schools, which is Oakdale, Stanford, and Wyandotte, to incorporate local fresh fruits and vegetables. We are hoping to partner with the 530 Food Rescue Coalition. Right now, we have a verbal agreement, which is that we've been doing in years past. But on the agenda, I have the actual agreement for the 530 Food Rescue. That will help us comply with SB 1383 regarding food rescue requirements, as well as to help reduce food waste within our schools. The more aware we are of the food waste, and if we're donating it, we can keep better track. And the 530 Food Rescue Coalition helps. They keep poundage reports, and so they can help keep track of any food waste that does occur. Also helps provide our community with food that would be wasted that can be donated. 3 of our schools, Oakdale, Ophir, and the studios, will be participating in the 24-25 National School Food Study, which will incorporate student satisfaction and overall environment of the cafeteria, meal program participation, and a plate waste study. There's more to come on that. I just had my first meeting with the liaison for the school food study. It is conducted by Mathematica, but it's through the USDA, and it is required that we do this study. She's going to send over an MOU, which I will send to the board once I have that information also. But basically, it's going to help, and I'm able to go along with them and help do the studies along with them, because they will take that information back and put it as an aggregate for the entire study across the nation, which doesn't exactly help our school district, but they said that I can go along with them and do the same studies for plate waste, which will help our district. We will have our Wellness Policy Committee meeting twice this year, tentatively scheduled for November and March. We currently have 3 staff members, as well as myself and our food services clerk, Sarah Larson, on the committee. If anyone else would like to join the Wellness Policy Committee, it is open and available to be joined. We also have previous community members who have attended meetings in the past that I will reach out to for the committee meetings. We plan to be active on our Facebook postings to share information and gain excitement and promote meal participation. Last month, we had roughly 70% meal participation for our lunch and 30% participation in our breakfast program. This is on track with previous years for the first month of the year, but I would like to see breakfast, especially breakfast, increase. And I think there's some things that we can do to help gain momentum there. Our goal in food services is to have a successful year with happy, healthy, and fed children. And that's it. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Does the board have any questions?
Choosing your right, and you have to have.
Yes.
Sit in the main.
Yes. As long as it gets onto their tray correctly, which our amazing staff in the kitchen does a really good job at. If you've ever watched the lunch lines, it goes very, very fast. They have roughly 20 minutes to get all of those students through and the students to eat their food also. So while they're serving the food, they're making sure that the students at least have those 3 components and at least a fruit and vegetable on their tray, so that it can be considered reimbursable and so that they're getting a nutritious meal. And with some of the littles, you have to, kind of coach them into, they take a milk and they start to walk away, you coach them back and go, let me help you with that. And so it's our staff that really is paying attention and making sure that they're getting their meal and encouraging them. Yeah.
If you've ever seen it, they have a fine oil machine where
Yes.
they're putting stuff on the plate, and the kids don't really have an option. They have options, but
Yes.
it's that's
Yes.
a loose word,
Yes.
you know.
You forgot your fruit or vegetable, or come back, you forgot something.
So
So
they do a really
yeah.
good job at ensuring that we're meeting the criteria and the kids are getting what they need.
Measuring.
So there's a share table, so they have the option of being able to set it, yes, or the juice that they didn't drink, or if they took a chocolate milk and they never opened it, they can set it at the share table. So that reduces waste that way. The plate waste, as far as behind the service line, there's not a whole lot that occurs because the kitchen staff is able to rechill the product and then reuse it for like the next day's breakfast or for another meal to be provided. Where we see plate waste is mostly if they chose something that they decided later that they didn't want, or they ate something else on their plate and then got full before they were, ate the other option that was on their plate.
I
So.
also see a lot of kids that take a bite or two
Mhm.
and then they don't finish it.
Yeah.
So do you have many kids that have allergies and
There-
like gluten-free allergies? And
There are quite a few kids that have allergies. There's a meal accommodation process for that. So if and that's available at all of the schools, and online, the form for that. So if parents need to fill that out, they can download that form, take it to the doctor, and then bring it in. It is on there to have them, if the doctor say they can't have milk, what they can have, so that we're still able to offer them a nutritious meal.
So do they get fed separately? Because I know if you've got like a well-oiled machine, it's hard to sit
Yes.
there and stop and sit there and say, okay, well, this one, yeah.
The staff at the beginning of the year gets to know the students, and they do a really good job at being able to rope. There's little Susie, and she needs a different meal so that it keeps the line going, and they're able to sit and eat food with the rest of their classmates.
Thank you.
Keep us posted on those meetings.
Yes, I will.
We know when to come.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to public hearing session. Adequacy of textbook and instructional materials.
Pardon me. This is our public hearing that we do every year to, that the board reaffirms that we are sufficient in our textbook and standard aligned instructional materials. We have already completed our Williams visit. The letter will be coming from the county shortly, but we are fully approved in that area as well. So you can decide with good conscience knowing that it's already completed.
Thank you. Board have any questions? We now move on to our action session. Public comments on action items. The board will extend an invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on items that are listed on the agenda. For those attending remotely who wish to comment, use your raise your hand button to be called to speak. The Brown Act does not allow the governing board to discuss or take action on any item that is not posted on the agenda. Is there anyone online?
No, there's not.
We'll now move on to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion. We approve the consent agenda as agendized.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any opposed? Passed with 4 yes votes. Okay, we'll now move on to new business. We will go on to B, which is approve interagency child nutrition program vending agreement.
So I'll let Shari introduce these items.
For the interagency vending agreement, this is where Andrew spoke earlier about the Berry Creek School that has finally been able to get back onto their campus with most of their buildings and their classrooms. However, they do not have a kitchen built yet, so they can't provide meals to they have roughly 43 students enrolled right now. So our plan is to provide meals in a vending agreement rather than take on their site as one of our own sites. So they will basically purchase the meals at a set price. They'll let us know the meals. We will provide them the same meals that we have that we're providing our students.
And Shari,
Yes.
they'll be picking up those meals every day.
Yes, they will be picking up those meals every day.
Does that include breakfast?
Yes, breakfast and lunch.
Do you just estimate in the morning?
They are, they're calling us and letting us know. They're basically, because they're purchasing the meals outright, it's been 43 students that they have enrolled, so they've just kind of left it at that 43, and they're purchasing 43 meals. So,
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 4 yes votes. Approve California SB 1383 Food Recovery Agreement.
okay, this one is a part of a California law that went into place, SB 1383. The portion of this agreement refers to the food rescue side of the SB 1383. There's also the recycling waste side of SB 1383 basically states that we need to have a written agreement with a food rescue vendor or group, and that we regularly donate and keep reports of what we've donated to this group.
Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 4 yes votes. Approve OCESD's revised 2024-25 Comprehensive Safety Plan.
It is recommended that the district and the board approve the revised 24-25 Comprehensive Safety Plan be approved as presented. If you recall, about several months ago, we approved our safety plan, but we definitely are always looking to improve it and to update it. And so through Andrew and a lot of work with Sandra Barnes, who's on the board, and myself, we have been continually looking to make changes and improve it. We're bringing another addition tonight for approval. And with our new safety, with our annual safety committee, we'll be continually approving, or excuse me, updating that and bringing it back in March of next year.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 4 yes votes. Adopt Resolution 242504, California State Preschool Program 2025 to 26, CFA.
So unlike other streams of funding, the state preschool program requires that we agree every year prior that the next year we're going to operate a state preschool, that we'd like the money from the state. So that's what that's saying. And this is for 25-26. So we're saying we'd like to continue operating the preschool next year.
Thank you.
And just for your information, we, of course, have started our preschool. Our first class is totally full now, and so now we're opening up our second preschool class Monday.
Wow, that's
Nice.
cool. Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 4 yes votes. Accept initial proposal for contract negotiations, CSEA.
It is recommended that the initial proposal for contract negotiations between the California School Employees Association and the Oroville City Elementary School District be accepted as presented for the 24-25 school year, thereby satisfying the public notice legal requirements.
Does the board have any questions?
No, but I'd like to just say that I really appreciate some of these changes in here. I'm really glad that our teachers are being afforded a little more liberties as far as personal days, personal necessity days. That's a big improvement. Thank you for that.
The initial proposal.
So what this is called is sunshining, and this is for CSEA. And there's also one on here for OETA, which is the next one. And what these are is they bring forward to the board the different items they'd like to negotiate with us at the negotiation table. Through the IBB process, there's a lot of the state does accept or has recognized the IBB process as a process where you don't always have to necessarily sunshine items, but we thought that this would be a good idea, and CSEA has definitely brought this forward to us and said, hey, we'd like to do this to be a little more in accordance with the law, and we certainly agree with that.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Passed with 4 yes votes. Accept initial proposal for contract negotiations, OCESD.
So it is recommended that the initial proposal for contract negotiations between the district and the California Schools Employee Association be accepted as presented for the school year. Again, thereby satisfying the public notice legal requirements.
Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve and accept the initial proposal for contract negotiations, OCESD.
Can I get a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 4 yes votes. Okay. We're on to business and finance. Approve unaudited actual financial reports for the 2023-24 fiscal year.
So for the last month and a half, it seems like I've been working on the unaudited actuals pretty much nonstop. The unaudited actuals represents the closed books for the 23-24 school year, having gone through, making all the adjustments and entries that are needed. And it's then going to be sent to the auditor for it to become audited actuals. So with unaudited actuals, typically your ending balance is going to be a little bit higher than was budgeted, because typically your budget's a little bit conservative or things don't get fully spent out. And additionally, in unaudited actuals, there are a series of required tests that occur that the state requires. So this year, our ending balances, predictably, we had money left over more than had projected at estimated actuals in June. We had $2.6 million more dollars than we had planned, and that's mostly due to some facilities projects that we had slated for the summer or even last winter that have been pushed off into this year. And those would include the sports pavilions, the outdoor sports pavilions that are going to be covered that we're building at Central Issue. We had estimated that those have been done last year, but they'll be done this coming year. So that's where the money, the $2.6 million comes from. And then, of course, there's a few other things that didn't get fully realized as expenditures. Required tests, special education maintenance of effort tests. We have an actual test, the SEMA, and then we have one on our budget. This is determining if we spent the same amount of money or same amount of money per student on special education expenditures as we did in the prior year. So it has to be the same or more. So we've passed that test. The most difficult test was the current expense formula, that because of all the COVID money, that's been a really tricky test to pass, because it examines how much of our budget is going to classroom-based expenses. And when you have a whole bunch of money for things that aren't classroom-based, like COVID money, it makes the test a bit challenging, but we did pass. And then the Every Student Succeeds Act, which used to be called NCLB, or No Child Left Behind, maintenance of effort. This is again like the SEMA or the SEMB, that we're spending the same or more per student on as we did the prior year. So we passed all of our tests, putting us in good shape. Let's see. So in summary, on unaudited actuals, I believe it's accurate. I will say, as a side note, this unaudited actuals seemed like no matter what I opened up, it was like to the nth degree. There was nothing easy about this one. Nothing easy. The state software broke. You name it, it happened. But I do believe that they're accurate, and I look forward to the audit.
Thank you, Andrew. I know that's hard work to be keeping up, but thank you so much, especially through struggles like that. Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
My second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 4 yes votes. Approve GAN limit appropriations calculations.
All right, this is my favorite time of year. Who would have thought the GAN limit would be this great?
Okay, I need water.
Every year.
So GAN limit, what is the GAN limit? It is not the radiation source that turned Bruce Banner into the Incredible Hulk. It is a calculation from 1979, and I've this year chosen Garfield, so you can see the differences. Garfield looked like this at one point, and this is when this law was created to constrain local government growth by inflation. And as you can imagine, with the inflation the way it is, our growth has certainly not been as strong as inflation has been. So you can guess how this test is going to go. In 88, they changed it. So if there were any excess funds that were beyond inflation, those funds would then go away from us and then back to us. Okay. So instead of you take money away from education because you're beyond inflation, but then that money then has to go back into education. So that's fantastic. And then 2024, since the GAN limit has grown significantly faster than government appropriations, the GAN limit is purely a formality. And here's your Garfield 2024. I believe there's a new movie coming out. And then, of course, this is how we assume the Incredible Hulk feels about the GAN limit being an archaic formality. There he is defeating the Chicago Bears. There you go.
Aw. Thank you, Andrew. I look forward to that every year. Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Abstain? Pass with 4 yes votes. Adopt Resolution 242505, resolution of adopting the GAN's limits.
So I can start the presentation over, or I'll just go back to that one. Again, this is just a resolution that has to also go with the GAN limit.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second? I'll second. Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass the 4 yes votes. Approve service agreement. Panagram Healthcare?
Paradigm.
Thank you.
So Paradigm Healthcare is a vendor that helps Oroville City Elementary, will be helping Oroville City Elementary School District with our Medi-Cal claims. We had a vendor called CGM, and CGM has decided they're no longer in the game. So I needed to get a new vendor. And honestly, I'm looking forward to having a new vendor. They help with a myriad of these Medi-Cal claims. And the Medi-Cal claims that we have in this have to do with students receiving Medi-Cal reimbursable services. And Holly knows all about this as well. She's heavily involved in this. But we're looking forward to having a new, more modern vendor in Paradigm. I researched a few different vendors. This one came highly recommended. It's the one that Thermalito is currently using, and they just picked them up and they're very happy with them. So I'm looking forward to having a good new vendor. And this is again a piece of what we do that you don't really hear about much, but it is a lot of work and it touches a lot of people in the district.
And it does generate quite a bit of revenue for the district as well.
Yep.
Does the board have any questions? Can I get a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the service agreement with Paradigm Healthcare.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass with 4 yes votes. Curriculum and instruction. Adopt Resolution 242503, resolution of sufficiency of textbooks and standards aligned instructional material.
As mentioned during the public forum earlier, we have completed our Williams visits and are awaiting the final letters from the county, but we are fully compliant with our instructional materials.
Does the board have any questions?
Will we have to accept the letter when it comes?
It's normally brought to the board for recognition when we do receive.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstain? Pass the 4 yes votes. We're gonna adjourn the meeting at 6:54.
Daryl
Thank you.
Thompson, why don't you come on up? Members of the board, Daryl Thompson is running for our board and he's running unopposed, so he will be joining us after the election. And